Hello there, my name is Madhavan. I will present you for this first slide. A very good day to everyone who is present in today's meet. Before I start, I would like to say thanks to our lecturer, Dr. Anil, as he have given us the opportunity to record this video today, and to the viewers. I would like to have your attention during this presentation video. Our team consists of 4 members, which are me, myself, Madhavan Jayapalan, Muhammad Nur Aiman, Muhammad Haikal Daniel, and also Muhammad Koimi. This topic entrusted by us from our lecturer is coal fire power plant, and it will be topic that we would like to discuss in this meet. I would like to proceed to the next slide. What is coal and what could be used in our daily life? Coal is a combustible material with high amount of carbon and hydrocarbon. Now let's talk about utilization of coal in everyday life. The benefit of coal that is most closely related to human life is a source of electricity generation. According to the records of the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, domestic coal consumption, aka the domestic market obligation in 2020, reaches 121 million tons, with the largest use of supplying steam power plants PLTU. Next is the production of gas. The second benefit of coal is that through the production of gas you obtain from coal is still in the ground, and the next would be uh, it can also be used for aluminum industry. This material is obtained by byproduct of the iron oxidization process in the activity of steel industry. The benefit of coal for other industry activities is to help the steel product industry. It is known steel is one of the material that has an important role in everyday human's life. Next point is coal is useful for paper and cement industry. Coal is natural material that is known to act as raw material for marketing cement. Although it is not used as a raw material in terms of materials, coal is used in combustion process. So the role of coal is very important in this industry. The next benefit of coal is to have production in paper industry. As is well known, the heat generated by the coal is very high. Therefore, coal heat is often used for paper industry. Lastly is coal tar, as coal is used to make roads. Now I would like to pass to the next speaker.
Okay, thank you, Madhavan. And okay, what is coal fire about? Coal fire power plant are facilities that burn coal to make steam in order to generate electricity. Coal fire power plants supply about 40% of the world electricity. Fun fact: through coal fire power plants, South Africa gets 94% of their electricity. Meanwhile, China and India use coal for 70% to 75% of their electricity needs. Average efficiency of a coal fire power plant is only about 33%. Next, I will continue to Aiman.
Okay, thank you, Haikal. Okay, background of power station. Name of power station is Sultan Salahuddin Abdul Aziz Power Station, and location is Kapar Klang, District Selangor, Malaysia. Owner of company Kapar Energy Venture Sendia Berhad is a joint venture company between Tenaga Berhad (TNB) and Malakoff Berhad, with an equity holding of 60% TNB and 40% Malakoff Berhad since 9 July 2004. Amount of electricity produced about 2,412 megawatt of electricity, which contribute to about produce in facility 50% of total electricity in Malaysia. Okay, next.
Okay, thank you, Aiman. So I represent about type of fuel used in coal fire power plants. For the power plants, they use brown coals. So while lignite is used and not normal coal because a normal coal have a lower energy density. Uh, those could have a low energy density. This knowledge is contained in a substance power density, which describe the rate at which its energy can be put out. Typically, having a high energy density goes along with a low density. Besides that, it have a lower carbon content and high moisture content and crumble texture. How do our country manage get net from country farms they get from Indonesia because it's a world largest exporter. Okay, thank you.
I would like to continue this presentation. As you can see in this diagram right here, is the process of how coal turn into electricity. First, it will go from coal, as you can see in the slide, you go to condensed cooling water, and the water will be condensed. Next, through the water, it will evaporate, thus turning the turbine inside. And the coal, as you all can see, is being heated up inside the furnace. I would like to go to the next slide. Now you can see is the how the coal turn into electricity. I will start the proper process, which is first the pulverized coal is then input into a boiler where combustion occurs and the coal provides heat to the power plant. And to that this heat is transferred to the pipe containing high pressure water which boils the steam. The steam then travels to a turbine, causing it to rotate in extreme fast speed, which turns into electricity. Now I would like to pass to the next speaker.
Okay, thank you, Medever. How's the energy transfer of a coal power plant? To produce electricity, coal is needed. Thus, coal could be classified as chemical energy. The next energy transfer will be thermal energy as the heat from the coal will evaporate the saturated water, thus changing it into steam. After thermal energy is mechanical energy as the turbine will spin rapidly to generate electricity, and turbine is a mechanical part made by humans. Lastly, electrical energy is produced. Next, I will proceed to the slide number 9.
Thank you, Haikal. Okay, next point is advantage of coal-fired power station. Point number one is coal is the cheapest of all fossil fuels. Coal is safe to transport and requires no special no specialized storage or transfer equipment. Just some of the things that increase other types of power costs is if stored in cool, dry condition and coal lasts indefinitely. Point number two, coal is the name one energy source. Coal accounts for 30% of the world's energy supply, and it generates 40% of global electricity. There is true to be enough coal in US received to last for almost 200 years. Worldwide, there is believed to be 1 trillion metric tons of coal is in reserve, enough to last for at least 3 years. Point number 3 is production isn't governed by the weather. Sustainable energy, solar, hydropower, and wind turbine are all relying on a particular set of climate conditions for optimum power output. Coal has no such boundaries. And point number 4 is coal is getting cleaner through clean coal technology. Old-style coal-fired power plants emitted a high level of pollutant into the air. Modern facilities ensure 90% less waste enter the atmosphere. As coal combusts, clean coal technology and recycle options combine to eliminate the pollution, or better still, use it for positive effect in some way or other. Coal energy is 70% cleaner today than it was in the 90, 90, 90,070 years. And the last point is coal reduce relying on foraging oil imports. Some countries is working towards energy independence. The goal being to stop being reliant on oil sourced from countries with pollution issues. Okay, next.
Um, okay, for this slide, I will present. Uh, for the first point, this will damaging effect on the environments. Coal combustions produce harmful waste including carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxides, sulfuric acids, and arsenics. High volume of CO2 carbon, CO2 carbon which particulates in the air therapy, increasing the reflective power of the sun's rays. Instead of dissipating, they retain warmth, contributing to global warming. Uh, so next point, mining has adverse environmental impacts. Mining involves disruption of the environment, including damage to wildlife habitats, groundwater, and the landscapes. The location of coal mines is usually consistent with uh, areas of natural beauty, forests, and woodlands. Entire ecosystem fail when mining works begins. For the third point, the transport of infrastructure. Coal is a high volume product that requires massive transport network to carry it across the country. Each recycle is responsible for polluting the environment with its emissions. For the last point, coal miner health. Even wearing protective equipment can always prevent some the illness that affect minors. Sorry. Have one more point. Uh, wasteless Uh, Waste levels. Coal-fired power plants are guilty of producing frightening amount of waste, 1.2 million tons of average each year. Although 40% of is recycled, the remaining 80 million short tons of waste goes to a landfill sites or a containment point annually. So that's all.
Okay, thank you, Kawim. For the next slide, I will be talking about the opinion about coal fire station. Coal power is the foundation of our infrastructure. Surface coal has been used for heat for centuries. By the 1600s, we began to understand the combustible nature of coal and the energy it produces. The advantages and disadvantages of coal prove that we have made massive technological advances when it comes to this abundant and affordable resource. However, there is still a long way to go to minimize, if not eradicate, the damaging effects coal causes to our environment and and inhabitants. And that's all for today. Thank you.